Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast about running and whatever else we feel like talking about, which often seems to take control. Mm-hmm. Robbe, man, I'm going to tell you, we're going to have to get you hyped up.
Oh,
I feel like energy level is post-travel energy level.
That's accurate.
You've got a fresh coffee right there.
That's the problem. It's fresh. I haven't drank it yet.
Okay, get on that.
I have to say,
drank or
Chug.
drunk it yet.
this is really good. It's so Sam, who does some reviews for us, is it Edgen?
Yeah.
Okay, Sam Edgen. I wasn't sure if that was how you pronounce the last name.
Sure.
I never asked him.
Egan.
Edgen,
We'll just say
Edgen.
Yeah.
Anyway, he works. He's like a maintenance guy on high-end coffee equipment.
Yeah, he repairs the machines and upkeeps them for ceremony coffee here in Baltimore.
And
Is that
other
ceremony?
ones. Yeah, this ceremony.
Which is good coffee.
So he just dropped by and gave Robbe an iced vanilla latte.
What a gentleman.
And I got a regular latte, hot.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a trail reviewer. Last review he did was the Nike Terra Kiger 9.
People will love that shoe, don't they?
I think so.
Okay.
I haven't worn that version, but I think the outsole's still a little iffy.
Tara Krieger in.
Yeah. Freddie
All right.
Tara Kruger.
Do you know what else I'm drinking right now?
Yeah. I can see it. I thought you were drinking I thought you filled up an electrolyte bottle with water.
No, this is coconut flavor.
Oh. It looks...
I mean, don't get this confused with coconut water.
Yeah.
Doesn't taste anything like coconut water.
Really?
It tastes more like, and this isn't a bad way, it's going to sound bad, but drinking suntan lotion. It's got that
Oh, like...
coconutty.
Like drinking Malibu?
Yeah, that's it.
Whenever you drink Malibu, it's always the first sip's like, man, this is the best thing ever.
Oh.
And then the second one's...
I can't really get down with Malibu.
Then I don't think
for
you'd
me.
like this flavor, Meg. You're probably going to stick with that strawberry
I
kiwi.
do think the strawberry kiwi is one of my favorite one. I also really like the mango.
Oh.
Have you had...
I haven't
don't know
had
how
the
many we
mango.
have.
I haven't had the mango, but I feel like mango drinks are always good. There's never a bad mango.
Oh,
drink.
interesting.
Yeah. They also have a blueberry blast or something in a tropical punch. And Ralphie, which one's your favorite?
Well, they have.
It's like, don't put me on the spot, dude. I
get it.
I haven't practiced for this electrolyte commercial.
Do they have a barf flavor?
No, what he would like is chicken bone.
Yeah.
If there was a chicken bone on the street
Or meat
flavor.
flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know, I might like that one.
I know, it wouldn't be bad. A savory, like chicken soup.
Anyway, Electrolyte is our sponsor this week again. We mentioned them last week if you listened. They're like Thomas's favorite ever beverage, I think.
Not ever. I mean, vodka still is reigning champ, and coffee is a close second. But electrolyte's up there as far as these electrolyte beverages and these premium hydration beverages.
Yeah, so it's got
I'm down with it.
It's got all the good stuff, all the electrolytes, the sodium you need after that long run when it's really hot. It comes in 15 different flavors. We mentioned some of them. Thomas is into the coconut, not for me.
Magnesium, calcium, all that stuff.
The other cool thing is that you can pretty much get them everywhere. So you don't have to go to some fancy Whole Foods or
No, you can
online
just
store.
walk into a CVS.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, I don't know if they're locking those up these days.
I hope so, because apparently, like, people are just deciding that they don't pay for stuff anymore
I saw,
and steal
I saw
cash register
I saw
trays.
somewhere they were locking up the freezer section. You know things are bad when you're locking up the
What's in the freezer
I don't
section?
know, like chicken, like
Premium ice cream?
like I think like the fish fillets, like Long John Silver's frozen selection.
I will say though, it might make sense to lock some stuff up. Like if you're near Robbe and you leave your Dunkin' Donuts bag on the counter, it might disappear.
Hey, that's on you. It may have happened at the airport.
Man,
First off, it wasn't on the takeout counter. Like it wasn't. My
it
wife
was at the coffee making.
My wife
there.
asked me the same thing. She's like, "Well, are you sure that it wasn't the?"
No,
the
to your
to-go?"
defense, it was like in a spot that clearly someone left it there.
Yeah.
Like it was forgotten.
And she was like, "Are you sure it wasn't at the to-go counter?" I said, "No, the counter was completely separated by a gap of space. That it wasn't.
It was the coffee making station, like where you would add sugar or.
It wasn't even that. I
get
think
napkins.
it was.
No, that's where it was.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was that.
Yeah.
It was napkins.
So what happened was the person probably went, fixed up their coffee, and then took off for their gate, leaving their. What was it?
Sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich. That's like $5 at least.
Did you eat it?
Yeah. It was It was still pretty fresh.
I saw you take it, but in my mind, I was like, he's not really gonna eat it.
Well, he's not going to carry it home.
It was in the bag and wrapped. It was sitting
No,
there.
it was clearly fresh.
Yeah. But it was there for a good 10 minutes as I was in line and then waiting to get my order. And I thought, you know what? I'm not letting this. I'm not contributing to the waste problem on this planet.
Yeah, you're a green activist.
Yeah, I glued my hand to the counter and said, I'm eating this sandwich.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like when there's a dead deer in the road and the birds hover around it and wait?
Yeah.
That was Robbie with the
Scavenger.
sandwich.
Yeah.
He saw a lone sandwich and just circled.
Are you talking about vultures?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're scavengers.
Okay.
I'm not ashamed to call myself that. Yeah. I'm clear. And you know what? They have a purpose in the food chain, and it's
To clean up Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. They're needed.
For sausage, egg, and cheese.
But then I had an
croissants.
issue because I also had bought a strawberry frosted donut before that, and so I thought I can't eat all of this. That's just excessive. So I ate most of all of it.
So you didn't? Did you eat the whole strawberry frosted donut?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say that would be.
That took priority over the sandwich.
Yeah, I get a little burned out on sausage sandwiches, even if it's a whole sandwich. So
Too much sausage.
yeah, you know. Let's not go too deep into that one.
Anyway, it's always good to wash that down with some electrolyte.
Yeah. Yep. Coconut flavor always takes it.
So speaking of the airport, maybe we should talk about why we were at the airport, where we went.
Well, first we went up to do the hydration tour. So why don't you talk about that? Because that was the last stop.
Yeah, we had our finale in Boston for the hydration tour from Marathon Sports, which we hosted a shakeout run from there last year.
Mm-hmm.
But this year we brought a few more people, some more scratch.
This was bigger than last year. Last year we had more fluencers, but I think the actual run had more people like come to it. Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure. So that was a lot of fun. Sort of ended our tour. You and Jarrett from Asics dumped an entire jug.
It was supposed to be Robbie, but I couldn't find Robbie when it was time.
I was there. I was like trying to.
You were probably talking to people and being good.
I was trying to. Yeah, I was. And then I was trying to, like, as I saw you guys are going to do it, I came over and I thought, well, Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett was excited about it. But
Not Widefoot Jarrett. There's a Jarrett that works for
Jarrett
Asics.
Butler, who's now went from being a tech rep in the field for Asics and now is joining the marketing team in-house. But yeah, I think Jarrett, the idea of dumping water on these guys, there was nobody getting him off that jug after he had that opportunity.
Oh, yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it was just water, right? It wasn't scratch.
No, we didn't want to waste the scratch on the women.
Also, that would have been real not great for us. Very
definitely.
sticky because it's not like that was like, oh, you got water dumped on you, went home. Like we hung out, we went to lunch, like we were.
I forgot.
We
About
were
that.
like
Wait,
I was
did you
freezing.
change? Did you change? Oh man.
No. Yeah.
You didn't get hit as bad as Feathers.
Yeah,
Feathers,
she got worse.
So I need to practice my dumping skills because when
Every day isn't enough.
when I went to do the bucket, you don't realize it shoots out like an arc, and it has about, I'd say, two foot.
You were also dealing with someone that is like 6 foot tall and someone that's 5 foot tall, so it was not an even field there.
Literally, Megan probably could have turned around, saw Feathers getting wet, and had enough time to like run away. That's how tall Feathers is compared to Megan.
Yeah.
But you hung in there like a champ.
Well, yeah.
Yes, that was fun. There was a lot of people that came out to that run, and shout out, who's the person who dressed up like me?
Mary?
That was hilarious. So explain that.
There's somebody who, I don't know, because I was inside and
I see her rolling up, and she's got a Legionnaire hat on. I'm like, oh, wow. And she's like kind of got a strut like something's going on. And then she goes, wait, and slaps a mustache on. And so she had her white Legionnaire mustache.
Brandon put that photo up of them together. It's real good.
Oh, I need to see that. I haven't seen the photo.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. I was
And what's great
quite
is
honored.
didn't she give you the hat?
Yeah, and I wore it for the run. It was actually a nice Legionnaire. I think it was just off Amazon, but it was pretty nice actually. So I might have to put that in my roundup, Legionnaire roundup.
The Mary hat.
Yeah, and the weather was great, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So nice.
Like in the low 70s.
Yeah, 'cause for the hydration tour, this had to be the coldest one.
Oh, it was by far. But before I forget, Robbie, you mentioned wearing the Legionnaire. This is a very side tangent. the morning after. I think it was the morning after Falmouth. Yeah, because I
know what you're talking about.
I was not feeling amazing, and we walked down the hallway, and this guy is walking from the other end of the hallway, and he has this long white flowy hair that looks like a Legionnaire.
So he was wearing a white hat with a big brim, and then he also had like the wings of his hair look like it. We walk out of the hotel room, Megan loses it like right off the bat, and it's like one of those things where I'm like, Meg, because you were gonna see him at the. Like we're walking towards the elevator. I'm like, get your shit together.
I was like very out of it and like, just couldn't contain myself.
So it was his actual hair?
Yeah.
Like Gandalf or like?
Gandalf after he went from Gandalf to the gray to Gandalf the white.
Yes.
With a white hat on.
So did he look cool?
No, of course he didn't.
You know what it looked like? It looked like Santa
like
Claus.
You in your Legionnaire.
Dude, no. Come on. Let's give Robbie a little credit here. You have a je ne sais quoi.
Okay.
With the Legionnaire hat. There's a relationship there.
Thank you. Is that a dish? Is that a food dish?
Je ne sais quoi?
Yeah.
I think that's French for I don't know what.
That is what that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not what are the snails?
Escargot?
Yeah.
I love when we start doing languages.
Yeah. What I will say, there was somebody at the run that said they were really happy to hear me talk about running the shade of a lamppost because they had already been doing that.
Yeah, I also spoke to that person.
And I thought there's more than one of me out there.
Yes, but I also believe that this is a sign that there's illness
in the water, something in the water.
Yeah, ever since the COVID shot.
Yeah. Oh man, that has something to do with?
Yeah. Were you running in pole shadows before you got vaccinated?
That's a good question. I don't think I was. I think it was right after that, actually.
Now you're like a vampire hiding from the sun.
Wow. Well, we just got a.
I'm not inviting you in the house.
Slapped on our podcast for running in the shade.
Oh, jeez. Are they still doing that? Are we still?
I don't think they're still putting the warning on.
Did you guys hear what happened in Maryland? Malaria.
I saw someone get malaria.
That.
Yeah.
Do you think that malaria is actually that bad?
Yeah.
This point?
Her brother got it and it wrecked him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still not right.
But was it the American version? Or
no, he got it in Africa.
I wonder if the American version is different. Like if it's
more elevated.
Yeah. But is that what you just get real sick?
Like real
sick. You can't like muscle aches and pains. Like you're like can't function.
Remember the Zika virus when babies were getting weird heads? Remember that?
Sure do.
We traveled. I think we were in.
I don't remember the heads.
I think that was what was happening. They were getting like cone heads, and we were in Honduras, I think, and people were like freaking out about it. I'm like, it happens like 1 in a billion people.
Yeah.
But anyways, so back to running.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were. Didn't you get an interesting message about the gonorrhea or the clap?
Someone was explaining
the
differences and stuff.
Oh, all right.
And then another person said that when they saw the sign, they almost crashed their car because they were like looking at it and laughing.
Well, you did. Did you ever say when we were explaining it last week that it was a picture of the Titanic? Like it was supposed to be.
I didn't. It was a weird thing because all of it didn't play together. So I showed you the picture.
Yeah. Did Brandon put the picture up on the podcast last week? I don't know. Anyways, we don't have to keep talking about that.
Yeah.
But to explain it, there was a picture of an iceberg and the gonorrhea ship about to crash into it.
Yeah.
Like Titanic style. Like you could see a little bit of the ice above the water and then the rest of it.
Celine Dion immediately comes to mind.
Oh, that would be good if you were playing that while driving by it.
Wherever you are.
I'm glad you did it because I didn't want to.
Yeah. Did we have to pay for rights to these songs that we sing every once in a while?
I don't think so.
If you sing it, you can. I think it's just a happy birthday song, but
okay.
Even that one, I think you don't have to anymore.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the next day after. By the way, I'm going to say something about the Shakeout Run before we go.
All right.
I love the Shakeout Runs. We're going to have to come up with a different name for them, but the little get together that we do with people.
Group runs?
The group runs
sounds like
are my favorite. I just love it. There's no pressure. We come, you get to talk to people. As we're running, you get to hear people's stories. I met this guy, Zach. We talked, about what's going on with his run. And it's just so enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I just love it.
Yeah. Keep going.
Well, that's it. And then I get all neurotic around racing. So we'll get to that. So Megan, kind of explain. So this is our third year doing it. We're almost pros now.
Basically.
So
we're standing behind the pros.
what time do we get up?
Okay, so we're one of the few people that we stay in Boston for Falmouth weekend. Most people go up
To the Cape.
to the Cape, stay, rent
I
a
love
house.
being able to say that.
Yeah, it's like St. Estes.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like this is where we put some Vampire Weekend in the background.
Yep, Cape Cod, kwassa. That's a real song.
I know. That's what's the best part about it.
So we stayed in Boston. So we bussed up in the morning and back in the same day. So our bus left at around 4:45. So we were up around like 3:30.
Now, Robbie, how much sleep did you get?
Yeah, so real quick, the night before, we didn't say that we went to Trillium Brewing.
Oh yeah, that was real
And
good.
They had a seafood tower.
did I tell you what the deal with the seafood tower then? So after you guys left, they brought out another one.
Oh, wow.
And everyone was gone pretty much. There's like 5 people
So
left.
did you fill your pockets?
No, I was.
We talked about it. You can't take that to go.
So it was driving me crazy because I was just like, this is definitely getting thrown out. I can't take any with me because of the said no pockets.
It's probably why there's a giant seagull in the alley there.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah.
The seagulls were bigger than eagles. Seagulls.
They were like albatross.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
And so I was there with Frank from Asics, and I was like, dude, do you think I should ask like a table if they want this stuff? And he was like, I don't care, man. Like, do whatever you want. So I went over to a table that had just sat down, and I was like, if you want to get in on this seafood tower, it's probably gonna get thrown out. And it was like a 20-year-old, like with his girlfriend and his parents or whatever, and he was like, oh, we're just like playing it cool. We're just here for
Was the dad like, screw you, let me get to them shrimps?
So we left out of and then I was like, okay, well that's fine. So I walked out. We were leaving then. Walked out of the restaurant, and I looked back, and the dad with his like, I don't know if he's wearing Air Monarchs, but I'm assuming he was. Got up and was like helping himself.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my man right there.
It's probably like dumb kid.
Yeah, because it was like stone crab claws.
Yeah, what was on it?
oysters,
We had
lobster tail.
You said the shrimp was really good. I
The
didn't
shrimp
have the
was so
shrimp.
good.
But there was like, the mini lobster rolls were something else. But there was like a whole lobster tail on the
There's a
yeah.
lobster tail. There's lobster claws. There
Yeah,
was
it was
like
crazy.
stone crab claws.
Yep. So I'm glad someone took advantage of that. But anyway, so before we went to the event, I was feeling a little tired, so I said, Thomas, we should do some 5-hour energies, and you finally jumped on board with me.
And I have to say, it was the right move.
Okay, yeah.
It turns out not for
Well,
you.
not for me. I'm bad at taking caffeine later in the day, and I forget that every time I take a 5-hour energy, I'm usually staying up till 2 or 4 in the morning.
Did I not mention this several times before you took it?
You did, and I thought I can handle this, and I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I slept pretty well. I didn't sleep the night before, but that night I slept really well.
Well, yeah, and so I was gonna go to the Zach Brown concert at Fenway Park, which I almost did, and then I was like, I pulled back because I was like, I need to get sleep tonight. I can't go and be out till midnight.
Do you regret not going?
Yeah, I do.
Because you didn't sleep anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been, and I would have been tired from walking or like staying up and going to the concert, which would have been cool to see a concert at Fenway Park.
And you could have slept on the bus.
Yeah, and so when I got back, I was at the hotel, could not go to sleep. Then there was people coming in from a wedding. I didn't fall asleep till 1 a.m. So I got 3 hours of sleep.
Anytime it's race weekend and I see people in the lobby that are like wedding people,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah,
no.
A woman literally came back from said wedding in her high heels in the room above us, and I think she might have just been dancing by herself. I was losing my
I would
mind.
actually lose it.
Thomas was like snoring, like didn't even hear
And
it.
did you put a sound
Okay.
machine on?
Here's the best thing that
Yeah.
I came across this weekend. I did 2 things. I found 10 hours of rain.
like the rain noise on your phone.
Oh,
So and again, I'm going to go back to that movie Interstellar because at one point they're like traveling through space, and the one guy just puts on like forest sounds, and he's like listening. And I was like, wow, that would be really weird when you're in space and you don't hear anything, to put on sounds of Earth and stuff like that. But anyway, and the other one was waves crashing. And did either one wake you up, Meg?
The rain one was pretty soothing. I was into that.
were you blasting it?
No.
I was blasting it like right by my head because
Oh, really?
I also had the white noise machine on my phone.
Yeah, that's
like
what
going.
That's what I had.
So we had white noise machine, rain,
And then rain.
and then we turned
It's
the
basically a rainforest. in
and
our
then
hotel
we
room.
we turned the fan on high.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
when we're
that's the
there.
key.
Yeah. So do you actually got sleep then?
I did that night. The first night we were there, I may have gotten an hour of sleep. And that's why that 5-hour energy really saved my life. And that's probably why it didn't really affect me, because when we went to bed that night, I just remember I woke up a little bit in the middle of the night, but when you got to get up at, what time did we set our alarm for?
3:15.
3:15. So even if I woke up a little early or whatever, I was like, oh, it's, I just remember that alarm hurt when it went off. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And you slept fine?
I slept like trash
Oh.
because the lady upstairs
Yeah.
dancing, and it just,
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't sleep well in hotels normally.
And
anyway.
my thermostat was broken in my room, so it was 59 degrees the whole weekend.
But better to be cold than hot.
No, at night definitely.
Yeah.
But when
When
I
you're
was in
just
my
sitting
room in
around.
the daytime, I just huddled under the covers, just like get me out of here.
All right, first check-in. I mean, I'm going to go old school with this one. We're just going to get back to checking in on form and feeling. So as you're running, if you're running right now, I don't care. If you're sitting in your car, relax your shoulders. Let them down. Stop making them work so hard. Just let them relax. So we go over to the Asics headquarters where there's 3 charter buses waiting. And the nice thing is you have a police escort, but in the morning it doesn't really matter because there's not that much traffic.
Yeah.
But I got
It's still fun to have a police escort.
I got on the bus and I just zonked out. I went back to sleep and kind of like listened. I put on like, may have put the rain back on and just gone back to sleep.
Rain's #1 selling artist of 2023, thanks to Thomas.
Your Spotify playlist is going to be like just rain.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love a Spotify playlist. It's like rain, then it would transfer into ocean waves.
Well, did you ever?
Birds.
Do you remember that band that was? I think it was Wolfpack. That they're like a funk band, but I think in the beginning, one of the ways they got famous was they did a track that was, like quiet. It was just like empty space or white noise on Spotify when Spotify was first starting, and
So
they
people
just,
would go get that.
and they made like tens of thousands of dollars off it because it would run forever. It was like a 24-hour long
Oh, that's
track.
hilarious.
Oh, wow.
And they would get their friends just press play like on the phone and just
Yes.
go for a whole day, and
That's
until
amazing.
Spotify figured it out. And then, but anyways, so yeah, we got to the race start, and
Yeah, we have to take a second bus. So we get off a nice recline, soft seat, like tour bus,
yeah,
and get on a school bus.
which is it weird that nobody like everybody's all about safety and kids' bike helmets and kids' bike seats. Don't ride in the back of the pickup truck anymore. And
basically
school buses still don't have seatbelts.
Well, I don't think you need a seatbelt because, like, that's the thing. The seat in front of you is so high that you just hit the back of that.
I don't think that's safety.
It's like an airbag, but not.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that
is pretty
school
funny,
buses with carrying like 100 kids,
yeah.
which will go 50 miles an hour down a highway, still don't have seatbelts, and no one cares.
Well, have you ever seen the video cams when those things crash and everybody's like spinning all around inside the cam?
Yeah, I don't know that I have.
Okay. You like to Google stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I like the kids fail ones where, or was it kids getting hurt or whatever?
I'm telling you, I started watching some of those, and so now they're in my feed.
Yeah.
And some are just a little too intense for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to see someone breaking their tibia in half
Oh, jeez.
every day.
Yikes.
Like the skateboarding ones
Yeah.
are pretty good. Anyways, so luckily, yeah, we didn't break any tibias.
What's really nice is they drop us right at the start.
Yeah.
And then we get to hang out in this restaurant at the start.
What's it called,
So,
Captain?
Kids?
That's what I was
Kid?
gonna say, but I think we just made that up.
No, I think it is Captain Kid or something.
It's right in Woods Hollow.
Woods Hole.
Woods Hole. And, I mean, what a gorgeous little spot.
Yeah, it's like Annapolis, but tinier.
Like back in time, though, it's like you're traveling back in time. And overall, I have to give Boston a huge credit. At least where we were, everywhere we were, spotless, no trash on the ground, like clean, beautiful city. It seemed like for the most part, the people walking around were courteous.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. It was very lively,
Yeah.
at least in the downtown area where we were.
But what I like about where we get dropped off is then we're real
Yeah,
close.
that's what it was. The Captain Kid.
Wow.
We're
very
real
good.
close to all the elites.
Yeah, when we were so we saw
Craig Engels.
yep, Emily Sisson.
Who apparently they rejected from the after party.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Craig Engels was trying to get into the after party and they were like
He didn't have his VIP bracelet like we did, so
And
he
somebody
didn't get
said
in.
he's an Olympian. They're like, so what?
Don't care.
yeah. I mean,
I do think-
he was still wearing his Nike kit, like head to toe, and
Still,
they're
you
like,
want
"Nope."
you want Craig Engels at the party.
Yeah, I mean, look at the guy. You
Yeah.
can tell you want him there.
That
Yeah.
flow just alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw like Robbie and I went for a little shakeout. Not as far as the Megans. The Megans did what, 3 miles?
Before the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 miles before. Maybe that was too much.
What did we do? A mile?
We did a mile, maybe and a quarter,
Okay.
but enough to see some of the celebs running out.
I was gonna say that's some of the most fun is doing the warm up miles before the race and just seeing all the elites doing their warm up miles too.
I don't know how they do it, but when you see the Kenyans run by,
And they're just like jogging.
it's different. Their jog is like a prance. It's like one of the most beautiful.
It looks like
Shuffles.
Interstellar. It looks like they're in Interstellar. It looks
Yeah.
anti-gravity.
So Megan and I were on our way back. Craig Engels was with like 3 or 4 other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing warm up miles together and they passed us. And then all of a sudden we heard him talking and it like got closer and closer and closer. And it sounded like someone was on a bike because it was coming so fast. And then all of a sudden they
Whoosh.
just passed us like we were walking.
Man.
And they were just chatting and casually jogging.
One of my favorite elites was there, Mike Wardian.
Yeah. Except I don't even think he started in the elite field.
Doesn't
this
matter.
year.
He's elite to me.
Oh, he's definitely elite.
Yeah.
He's the best.
He came and took a picture with the Faster Bastards, which is the greatest thing. Like, he's so down to earth and so much fun. Like, I like it when, you're able to have fun with the sport.
Yeah.
And you can tell Mike is having a good time.
He was telling me about how he's like, yeah, like my hands still hurt and this.
From the bike ride?
Yeah, because he did if anyone is from the East Coast or from our area, there's a bike ride that goes from DC to Pittsburgh on a C&O Canal Trail and then the Greater Allegheny Passage. It's like 380 miles, and he just did that the weekend before.
It's not a road bike.
No, it's
You
like
got to have like a dirt,
yeah. Anyone
I guess
who's
a gravel bike?
yeah,
Or-
and if anyone's run the JFK 50 milers, part of it goes on the C&O Canal Trail, and it's like a rutted out dirt trail. You can use a road bike, but
you want a gravel bike or a trail
it's
bike.
definitely better.
But it's not like Mike even knows the sport that well, so he went out on like a janky bike
Like a mountain
with like
bike.
with a backpack for 300 miles.
Yeah, you need panniers if you're gonna do a.
Oh, I like it.
If you're gonna
Look
do
at
a ride
you with
like
the
that.
French now.
Yeah.
You didn't know je ne sais quoi about panniers.
I didn't know what je ne sais quoi meant, but I knew the phrase.
Okay.
Wait, when do you use that phrase again? When's the proper way to use it?
Like when someone has a certain quality that you can't explain, like say that you are,
Oh, it's just like this air about them.
yeah, like,
Okay.
or you could use it for that. Or just like like it's almost like I feel like it's a compliment, like almost like there's something I can't put my finger on,
Okay.
but it's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like,
all right. Thanks for saying that.
Certain something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So anyways.
I could be using it completely wrong.
Yeah. Turns out I'm just a piece
Yeah.
of.
We know people in Canada that are in the French part in Montreal.
Yeah, and a lot of them told me they'd seen the peanut butter solution, which
Oh,
is
God.
from last week, which is
Sounds terrifying.
I've gotten a lot of messages exactly saying that about how terrifying it was. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. But so anyways, at the start of the race, I don't know, it just started. I don't know what else to say.
The gun went off.
Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't know we transitioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
I talked to, you know who I talked to in the corral as well?
No.
Tim West, the founder of Bandit Running. Learned a lot.
Former podcast guest.
Yeah. Apparently he thinks that podcast didn't go well.
Oh.
because he was like, so now you should all listen to it. But but
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was 100%. But I got introduced to. I'm not sure if it's his fiance or if he's a girlfriend, but got introduced, and he mentioned that he's like, they're the podcast I was on that I blew it.
Okay.
I was like, no, you didn't blow it. And there, Devin Reed was behind him, who was wearing his Lost Boy singlet.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, so that's episode 114. So and anyways, I don't have anything else to say about the start. So
No.
yeah,
The race weather was nice. We had a little bit of a tailwind. This was the first year it wasn't like 1,000,000% humidity, which was really nice.
Yeah, the temps, it wasn't cool, but it was
Cooler.
much better than it has been
I
in
think
the
I was
past.
expecting it to feel much better just because of the temps. But
Yeah.
I always forget the first 3 miles are very, very hilly.
yeah, they
I
really
never
are.
forget that.
Yeah.
They really are.
Now, that's the thing. Like, okay, so you guys both went out pretty hard. I went out very conservative. But Meg, you were going for...
Well, my coach suggested I race this one all out, and he told me to go out at like 5:40.
This is on the back of a 92-mile week.
540.
But I'm like, I can't not try and go out at 5:40. And I did 1 mile, like 5:39, and I was like, absolutely not. This is not
And
happening.
the first miles, is it?
It's a lot
kinda-
uphill.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be downhill.
Well,
I
the
couldn't
end is
remember.
down, but you're climbing for
That's
more
right.
than you're going
Okay,
down.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I like. You go up off the gun. So you have that adrenaline.
Yeah.
So you go up the hill. And then there is kind of a slope down for a little bit. But then, it's a very roller
Yeah.
thing. And Robbie, you, like, I had no idea what you were planning on doing because you kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know that you knew what you were
I
doing.
didn't either. I usually don't decide until something starts.
But I feel like we're going to bring up magicians again. You pulled some magic out.
Yeah, I felt like I felt a little dead in the beginning, but then I was like, I'll just see what I feel like 7 miles is one of those where you can kind of just see what happens. Like you can go out hard, and then just if you fall apart, you fall apart.
I guess because I have experience on this course, I would be like, I know there's a hill at the end. I know there's that, even though it's not hills anymore, you're exposed in the sunshine.
Yeah, I think it was because when I ran it 2 years ago, I had a really good race, and I should have looked back to see what I did then, which was start out really slow and then just go a lot
Ramping
faster.
up.
I mean, it still worked out all right, but I tried to stay with one of the faster bastards in Baltimore.
That was a crazy
John
thing. I think it's crazy. John's a very good runner and solid performer all the time.
Yeah.
That like, I like the idea that you're just like, hey, I can run with him.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think he doesn't do as well in hot weather, so he's a little bit slower that day. But yeah, it was like, I think I did like a 6:55 or something for the first 4 or 5 miles. And then,
Which is insane.
yeah, I mean, it is insane. I don't know how because when I run that fast, like if I'm just doing a training run, if I'm even just do 1 mile, I'm like, I'm completely dead. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah, but
So I
once you
don't
get out
get
in
it.
the race environment,
Yeah, which is fun.
bets
Do
are
you-
off.
That's what I like about it, because it just feels different.
Yeah.
It feels different.
Do you think that the motivation is there, or do you think that you are around other people and they're running that pace, so you're like, okay, I can do this?
Yeah, I think it's kind of that, the second one.
That it just like this doesn't look as hard as
Yeah.
it should.
And aerobically, I felt fine, like breathing wise. It was just my legs didn't have that much. One, I didn't get that much sleep, and then just they were like, that was probably and I haven't been doing any speed work at all. But then, yeah. But when I got to the mile, when it was a sunshine mile, when it's out in the open, I got really hot and my head just felt so hot, and I was feeling nauseous.
Did you go for the hoses?
Oh yeah, every hose, every water.
I was so
every-
disappointed with the first hose.
everything. Yeah.
Like I wanted to get wet, like it was hot.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one, I felt like they had it too misty,
Oh yeah.
and it was just like,
So there's a lot of people with hoses and kids with squirt guns and all super soakers and everything all along the course, which is awesome. So there's no lack of water compared to a lot of races. That was cool. But anyways, I just felt nauseous and kind of like, so I dialed it back, and I finished strong. Like I felt like,
I think you had an amazing performance. I thought it was amazing.
yeah. No, it was a good day. I was definitely real sore like yesterday and today.
That's
even.
funny because your coach asked you if you were sore, and you asked me if I was sore.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even thinking about it, and I was like, no, my legs don't feel like I ran at all.
Did you do? Oh, well, that's amazing. Yes.
But I'm like,
you're putting huge miles.
Yeah, but then I was like, so maybe it was more. I don't know.
I don't think it is mental. I think the difference is like your legs are sore because you never run at that pace,
right?
And
I didn't do did anyone really do a warm up besides running? Did anyone do like a good warm up as far as like?
What do you mean, like swinging legs?
Yeah,
and
like
stuff?
but I never do that.
No.
Oh, you never do that?
No, absolutely not.
Meg literally
Just start running.
we walk
Really?
the dog
Start
and
going.
she puts her shoes on. You foam roll and do some donkey kicks.
I'd try now because my Achilles was getting tight, but now I'm kind of just back to
Crazy.
You're back
Roll
to just
out the
roll
door.
out.
And post run, you don't either.
absolutely nothing.
What the? I don't understand how it's possible because you also sit down. You sit in your chair at the office for most of the
She's
day.
younger than you.
I mean, that's 100%.
It's that 6 years, I guess.
It really is.
So yeah, but yeah. So Meg, let's talk about your race a little bit. You went out.
Hot.
You went out very hot. When did you realize that maybe you weren't going to hold 540s the whole?
After that first mile.
Okay.
I was like, that's just not plausible.
So when you hit that flat area in the sunshine, what's going on?
That's actually where I started to pick it up. And then I was like feeling okay. I went from like 550s back down to like a low 550, 549. And then after like a mile in the sun, I was like, And then I was closer to like 6 flat.
Okay, and then you finished up. By the way, this has
amazing.
one of the best finishes once you crest. There's a final hill.
Yeah, and I don't mind that hill that much because you know you're so close to the finish.
Except for every time you crest that hill, I always think it's like you're going up and then down to
I
the
thought
finish.
the same thing too.
But
yeah.
it's much longer.
It's like another at least quarter mile.
Right.
Maybe more.
Well, I'll tell you my story about that in a second, but I want to hear. So you come down, you hit that flat, you finish up. Your initial feeling was disappointment.
Yeah. Primarily because one of our friends from the Faster Bastards loves to run faster than me and tell everyone about it. And he caught me at the end. And that's all he said for the next 20 minutes as we were walking down the finish chute.
Yeah, when I got to the party, I heard the same story.
Everyone heard the story.
Anyway, so what I think is interesting about this, Robbie, is there was an Olympian who finished shortly in front of you, not that many spots in front of
Are you
you.
talking about Molly Seidel?
I am.
No, she finished much, much faster. She ran like a 5:13 or something.
But
For
how many
7
places
miles.
were you behind her?
20?
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
To an Olympian?
Yeah, I'll take that. I
Okay.
take that.
It's like our friend Jeremy Ardenoy. He came in second overall
Such a
for the
stud,
open
just
field.
casual.
Like open field, second place.
Yeah, crazy. I mean,
And did not, you know who didn't talk about that?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, I got to the party and
I had no idea.
yeah, he's like, yeah. Megan asked him.
I jokingly asked him if he won, like just thinking that was a
Right,
funny joke,
right.
and he's like, "No, I got second." I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible."
And we had Adam Driscoll, who was one of our top grit guys every year.
Dude, he's a monster.
He was third Masters overall. Finished right behind Mike Wardian. So another,
Which is impressive.
So Baltimore kind of represented at this
Yes.
race.
Yeah.
How was your race?
So my race, I got to tell you, I ended up in a perfect spot. So I had no idea with what I've been struggling with the foot and having to dial back miles and stuff like that, what I was going to do. And one part of me was like, should I even be running? But I was like, oh, I'll just do it, whatever. It's 7 miles. So I'm running, and there's this woman from Asics named Laura. I think it's Grecian, Laura Grecian. That she's, I mean, you look at her and she looks like an Olympian. I thought she was like a steeplechase person or something. And so I'm like, hey, you just running relaxing? She's like, no, I'm doing what my coach told me to do. So I was like, well, what did your coach tell you to do? He's like, we're going to go out easy for the first 3 miles, and then we're going to just drop it down, try to hold it to the finish. So I was like, that sounds like fun. I said, do you want to run together? And this, like, we have met, like, hello kind of before a few times at, like, some of the, like, the shakeout run and stuff like that. But so we didn't really know each other that well. But you know what it's like when you run with someone. It's like all of a sudden you feel bonded when you're going. And there were several times where I was like, if you want to pick up the pace, go ahead. And she's like, no, I'm good. And there was times where she was like, if you want to pick it up, whatever. But we kind of made a deal. There's no loyalty to the thing. But we ended up getting all the way to that big hill, and she started going up that big hill pretty strong. And I was like, I'll just let her go. And then I realized like that we weren't still splitting up that much, so I just stayed with her. But as soon as we hit that top of the hill, she was like, I'm getting to the finish. And I think it's that thing where you think that the finish is closer than it is. Like we were practically in a dead sprint from the top of that hill all the way down.
That's cool.
Our average pace for that mile was 7:37 or something, but it really, that's not accurate because you go up that giant hill and we were going super slow. I have no idea how fast we were going, but I felt like I was like spinning my wheels as hard as I could, and I couldn't wait for it to be like when I saw the flag. They have a giant flag over the, like, not quite the finish.
It's like bigger than the Texas flags.
Yeah.
And don't you feel like that's where it's going to end?
Is that not where it is?
Yeah,
No.
that is where it is.
No, you still have like 50 yards or so until the finish line.
All right.
So I'm like seeing that flag going, okay, I just got to make it to there. And we were all out. But then we met up. Some of you guys, Robbe included, was still at the finish line. I saw Megan at the. You guys were already drinking, weren't you?
No, because we went and did cool down miles, but we made a point to be the first people into the bar.
Okay.
So we went to the bar and like grabbed our stuff and changed shoes, and then went out for some more miles.
But you saw at the finish, I came through and I saw you guys, and then I saw Robbe and some of the faster bastards, and we all went down with Laura to the beach, and we all went in the beach. It was not as warm as it was last year.
The water was cold.
Oh, the water was definitely cold, yeah.
It was cold. And then while we're in there, somebody's like, I just got stung by a jellyfish. So I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as exciting last year when we were there with Running Warehouse and everybody. And we, Tommy runs, Kofuzi, everybody's playing in the water and stuff.
Yeah.
That was not this year. This year was dunk, get wet, get cold, rinse off, jump out of the water.
Just so you know, your Strava going down to the finish line says you were running a 5:18 mile at the finish.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had those kind of wheels.
I don't know if that, like, it says from like your data, because it's at the top of the hill you were at a 9-minute mile, 8:50 mile.
That makes sense.
And then it's just dropping the whole way down. It was like,
I didn't know you could do this.
it was 6:30 mile, and then it goes the whole way down to 5:18.
Yeah, I mean, we were when I tell you, I was just trying to keep up with her. We were in a dead sprint towards the end. That I was like, I don't know if I can go any faster.
It also says mine was at a 4:47, and there's no chance I was doing that.
You don't think so?
No.
I would believe it.
A 4:47?
I would
I don't
believe-
even have that kind of speed.
You run mile repeats at 5:40.
Whatever.
I don't know. Well,
Where's yours, Robbie? What's your?
I was gonna look it up. We'll hedge it and just say you're running.
If you say I'm running the fives, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's 5:18.
I mean, I doubt that mine was.
I will tell you, I was even doing strides after my run this morning, and I was thinking about that Fifth Avenue mile, which we only have 3 weeks until.
Yeah, it seems a little off because I think mine was saying like no, that's about right because mine's only like 6:10, and I did turn up a little bit like at the very
Yeah, you were coming in like you were doing. I did negative splits. You did positive splits, right?
Yeah, so I don't know.
But
anyways,
I was thinking about the New York City mile. I'm like,
Fifth Ave mile.
Yeah, Fifth Avenue mile. How are you guys feeling about that?
No.
Dude, I have no clue about running a mile.
Me neither.
I know. I was like doing strides, and I'm like, my legs can't turn over any faster. I felt like my hip was gonna pop out.
How long
I'll
do
probably do a marathon pace mile.
How long do I have to practice for that?
Dude, it's not.
How would you suggest? It's like 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah.
How would you suggest practicing for a mile race with 3 weeks to go?
A bunch of 400s.
Yeah, like we go to the annex.
Whilst training for a marathon.
Yeah. 400s.
All right.
Yeah, but you're gonna do speed work during your marathon training. So instead, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something crazy tomorrow.
Okay.
You want to go to the dreaded Druid Hills?
I can't tomorrow,
Okay.
but I do need to do more hills for sure.
That's the thing that I think New York pro tip from a non-pro is make sure you're getting those hills in because that course, it feels more uphill than not.
Definitely.
Yeah, it sure does.
All right, second check-in, sticking with the old format. How are your hands? Are they clenched up? They tight? loosen them up, let those arms swing, let them help you with your stride. You got loose shoulders now. Swing those arms and just enjoy the run.
Wait, so after the party, there's an after party then that's kind of wild. And Meg, did you do the Kofuzi challenge?
Not only did I do it, but I completed it because, well, it was kind of cheating.
Can you explain what the challenge is?
Yeah, so every year, Mike Kofuzi, so there's an after party and they have Trulies that are unlimited Trulies. And they normally have...
for a time.
Until 12 p.m. it turns out.
It's like a game show. You have like a Nickelodeon show. You have to get in as many Trulies as you can before the buzzer rings.
Yeah. But so normally I guess they line up like 10 maybe. I forget how many he said that they normally have. And he just goes down the line and drinks every single flavor until he's drank all of them.
But here's a problem. Like, this is the first year they had a new kind of Truly out.
Right. So there was 5 total. There was 4 from like the new like style.
Which is a vodka Truly, not a... whatever malt liquor. What is the?
Okay. So it's like a high noon more than
yeah. So there was one that was your traditional Truly, which was a wild berry, which apparently is the worst.
Well, I saved it for last.
Yeah, and then the rest were all vodka. So I was a little afraid for you because I thought that's depending on what the alcohol content is.
I didn't look.
That's a pretty.
I think it's similar content. I think it's just a different
Smirnoff
drink. Yeah.
So I did every single flavor, all 5.
Can you name them?
Lime, pineapple, mango, blueberry, wild berry.
Wow. Yeah. Impressive. And you and Megan Featherston were having a great time.
We had a lovely time. We were dancing. We were like the old people dancing. There was like, it looked like fraternity word had just let out and like all these young.
It really did.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And they were definitely making fun of us for being like these old ladies dancing.
2-inch shorts.
Yeah. And I still had my bib on. Like we looked like real hot messes.
Yeah. Sorry we're not TikToking, hanging out in a parking lot, which is what the zillennials are doing.
I mean, but you got into it when Mr. Brightside came on.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. So I have this issue with Mr. Brightside where it could, because I watch YouTube videos or reels where it's like the whole entire stadium of University of Michigan at a football game is singing Mr. Brightside. Or there's like a bar in Ireland where the whole bar is going nuts singing Mr. Brightside. And then I go to an event, like I was at an Orioles game a couple of weeks ago, and the song of the game where you vote on was Mr. Brightside, and nobody's singing Mr. Brightside, and there's 30,000 people there. So then I thought, okay, we're at a party.
Right.
Everyone's hammered.
This must be killing you.
Yeah. Nice. And so I was like, this has to be... Everyone's going to be singing Mr. Brightside.
Turns out it was just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
The problem is that, so I kind of go through waves at like a party, and that was a down wave for me. Like when that song came on.
That was right before I hit my down wave. Yeah.
Okay. And then I came back after that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it just didn't hit the right moment.
But it didn't.
I don't know why you guys have down waves at parties. We just were on the up and up.
Oh, I think it was because I ran a hard race for no
Didn't you
reason.
vomit at the end?
Oh, yeah, you didn't mention that.
I did vomit at the end. I feel like I vomit at the end of most of my races.
See,
though.
that Megan and I were talking about, like, I don't know if I'm just not willing to go there or what it is. I don't, my body or brain will say, hey, chill.
I don't know. I think it's just me because it's not like I'll be running hard and it doesn't feel like I'm killing myself, but then I get nauseous and then it's hard to bring it back from there.
Like you can't take control.
Yeah.
It's killing you.
Yeah.
Still?
I'm just trying to think of other lyrics while I'm talking.
You're going out of your head and you're going out of your mind.
and I just end up usually dry heaving. Like I was in the last couple of miles, I was like, please don't throw up because the sides are packed. Yeah. And I'm like I'm dry heaving as I'm running past. I'm like, oh, please don't puke in front of everyone.
One thing we didn't mention is that the crowds at this race for a 7-mile race
They're great.
are phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's literally the same as a major marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
For the second half.
And we all ran an Asics. You were the only one who didn't go with the Magic Speed 3. I think Feathers, you.
And I loved them.
Myself, I do too.
They were perfect for that distance, I think.
I love the Metaspeed Edge Plus. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite shoes.
Really?
Of just ever.
Because you love a firmer shoe.
Yeah, I just love the way it feels. But for shorter.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It was only a kiss.
Yeah. That doesn't pertain to what I'm talking about.
Well, how did it end up like this?
I don't know. Why does it keep going? It's killing me. But so I ran in that, and then, anyways, but after the race, the party kept going. I got I had a headache. I started getting a headache and I pounded 2 Gatorades and water and everything afterwards.
I was a little worried about you when we got back to the hotel.
Yeah, I just felt, and then of course we were in the sun all day, as you can see right now. I look like freaking Edward Snowden with my skin falling off my forehead.
It's like Thomas's peel.
It's like Scarface, like Scarface's desk.
That's
over
like
here.
mild compared to what happened to my head. Yeah,
Dude, but
my shoulder. I was
disgusting.
waking up because it hurts so bad from the sunburn, which I shouldn't. But speaking of skin cancer, you know who took out my stitches? I didn't make it to my doctor's appointment, so I had Megan help me pull the stitches.
Unwillingly.
Oh, that's like the most fun thing.
Ugh. No.
I got it to a certain point, and there was another knot that
there was a knot in his skin.
and so I made her cut it.
Well, that's on you.
can't.
You pulled the wrong way.
No, there was 2 knots. There was one at the start, one at the end.
Uh-huh.
So I had her pull it all down, and then
We're just talking about taking stitches out. Yeah, I know. You look like, I told you that if you had a couple bolts in your neck, you'd be
Frankenstein.
good for Halloween. And your arm seems to be getting...
It's coming together.
Yeah. It's at a level where you wouldn't throw up in your mouth if you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is it. That level.
I mean,
yeah, you might still, honestly.
it's got a little shiny.
It's a little gross.
There's like acne where the Band-Aid was adhered to, like the sticky stuff
You're
was.
going through puberty again.
Yeah. It's a pretty. Probably ingrown hairs from ripping out arm hair as I take off the bandages.
Oh, man. Anyways, so the party was great. The bus ride back was good. What else do we have? And then after that, I don't understand, Megan, how you went like all day long, because I thought you were gonna take a nap on the bus or something, but you guys just kept going.
That's what you do.
I know that's what you do.
We
I don't
were preparing
understand how you do.
the whole summer. We did a whole hydration tour.
That is true.
Preparing for this.
Did you hydrate the night before with Scratch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the
I
hyperhydration.
think that was. I drank Scratch in the morning.
Wait, it's not called hyperhydration.
It's high sodium now.
I did high sodium the night before.
Okay. See, I didn't do that. So maybe
Robbie,
that
we've
didn't help.
talked about it.
I didn't have any. I think I did have regular
Robbie.
Scratch.
We were at a giant Scratch party.
But you didn't have the hyperhydration stuff, did you?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on me. That's my fault. Anyway,
You're too busy with the Robbie impersonators.
No, I did. I grabbed the whole. Obviously, it was free, so I grabbed the whole bag of it. But I had a whole bag of stuff. Is part of that was in there the high sodium stuff?
No, you got the protein recovery, the chocolate recovery,
Yeah.
and then you got the individual packets of
Orange.
Like
we had individual packs of the high
orange
sodium.
mango.
They were just in a different box.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I
got
do,
any.
I do feel like you took Laura's. Like Laura had to put a stash over there.
What?
Remember when you're grabbing all those and you're like, "Oh, are these over here?" And she was like, "No, that's fine. You can."
Why wouldn't she just say that they were hers?
I think because she's a nice person.
Well, now I feel.
I don't think that happened.
Don't worry about it. Maybe I'll send her a gift package for being such a good, running person.
In my defense, everything was packed up. It
Yeah.
was just sitting there. So
No, I don't think it was your fault.
okay.
But she did say she ordered a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, and somebody snagged
That
it.
one is on her. That's definitely on her or whoever else. I figure when I see things like that in life, I think that's just making up for all the things that I've given to people and lost. So I think it's coming back to me in some way.
Yeah.
Like all the things that I water bottle, like Nalgene's and other things that I leave in airports. I think if I see sausage, egg, croissant.
So you're saying it's kind of an exchange system at airports?
In a way, yeah.
There are no rules in airports, to be fair.
It's a cosmic exchange.
Okay, so here's the crazy thing. Like, I don't know Laura that well. Like I told you, she tells me during the run, she lives in Rhode Island and commutes to Boston, which apparently is like an hour and a half or something. So it's like 3 hours a day.
Nope.
Yeah, she listens to our podcast. She's like, I love it because it's long enough that, I get a good thing. And I'm like, it's to me, I always don't know what to say to people after they've listened to our podcast because I know that we say so much stuff that I forget.
Oh yeah.
like what I've said. So it's like I don't want to start a conversation because I would be like, oh yeah, you've covered that. Stuff like that. But
So you just stop talking to them?
I do. Like I guess
It's like, this conversation's over since you listened to our podcast.
Never mind.
tune in next week where I talk about you, but you can't respond.
Yeah. Anyways, so sorry about if I stole your scratch.
I doubt you did. There was
Do you
so much
remember
everywhere.
You know in Big Daddy, the Adam Sandler movie with Steve
You owe me
Buscemi?
2 Egg McMuffins. Yeah.
It's kind of what happened.
You owe me-
It was probably that guy that I took it from. You owe me a sausage egg McMuffin. Although sausage egg McMuffins are better than the Dunkin' Donuts croissants or whatever.
I know that all the people from Boston will probably not like this. Not a Dunkin' guy. Like I'm disappointed when
I got an iced coffee or whatever it was, and it
didn't
tasted
even
like
finish it.
candy. I was like, this isn't coffee. This is a milkshake.
The flavor drinks are crazy.
That
well, no,
was-
she got a vanilla latte.
But that's what I mean. Anything that has anything
Oh.
aside from coffee. I like their coffee actually better than Starbucks. I like it.
You just drank a vanilla latte.
Yeah.
That was not sweet at all, right? It just has vanilla.
Yeah, it's just the right balance of stuff. Yeah.
See, that's their balance is way off. They
No,
put like sugar.
It's way
and,
too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
gross.
It's a candy shop.
Yeah.
I just get regular coffee when I go there, and I like their coffee better than
That
most
surprises
other
me. Okay.
places. Yeah.
I still will stay with like Royal Farms and Wawa have some really good coffee with their new,
Yeah, Royal Farms
System.
is very good.
like they brew it right each cup.
Yeah.
I like that.
Although, you know what? When I was in Colorado, there's just Folgers in the house, and I thought, I don't hate it. It's gross, but I don't hate it. I think it's gross probably to most people, but
Yeah.
I think that's what my
I think
parents.
that's probably like my last
I
pick.
think that's what my parents make, maybe my grandma. So I'm like,
Mama.
Tastes like home.
mama. Spell mama. It makes no sense.
Mama.
Anyways, so yeah, that was. I don't even know what we're talking about now. Still
Nothing.
talking about
Folgers
coffee and
Coffee.
airports.
Yeah.
You know, we do have a shoe that we're running. Should we go
Yeah,
to
we
it?
should definitely talk about
Robbie,
this quickly.
what logo does this look like on this
I
side
can't
of the
wait
shoe?
for everyone who came in for the shoe.
It looks like Theodore or Mizuno, one of them.
Yeah, but it's not. This is the Puma Magnify 2.
Oh,
Nitro.
Nitro too.
Nitro. shoe.
Nitro, American Gladiators.
I have to say, we always talk about how Skechers nailed the Nitro foam. I think Puma also has like probably the best nitrogen infused foam.
Yeah, they've done a good job with it. Didn't you see Molly Seidel running in the Fast R2 at
She was
Falmouth?
running in the fat. I was like, what?
I do think it's the next version of it. It looks a little poofier, or
Megan thought it looked like an alpha fly.
We didn't even talk about that. The fact that she was just there and didn't announce it or anything. She was just there.
And she just showed up.
Yeah.
She got
You did say you finished ahead of
Eighth
her.
place. I finished ahead of her. Yeah.
I mean, finished. Yeah.
It's just me and Molly up there.
Just throwing out misinformation. But anyways, so the Magnify Nitro 2.
yeah, Magnify Nitro 2. Megan and I have both been running it. I think it's a huge update over the original Magnify. That I didn't even enjoy the first one at all. I think we panned it in the review. This is actually a really nice.
We've talked about knit
Update.
uppers a little bit and how they're like kind of hard to get right, but I think they did a good job with this one.
They
It's like
did.
stretchy, but it still feels like supportive in the right spots.
But see,
Oh, yeah, I see.
here's the difference between our shoes. Look at how the lace goes across yours and how it goes across mine. See how I've got like a lot of puckering?
That's because you got them narrow ass feet.
Right. So I kind of felt like that was a little bit of a weakness here. But as I ran in it, it felt fine.
So this is their max cushion shoe. Pretty sure it's 40 mil.
What would you compare?
Yeah, 40, 30, 10 millimeter drop.
What would you compare it to? Did you say 10 millimeter? Yeah.
Yeah. I would compare it to a shoe that we can't talk about yet. I would compare it to,
Would you do Asics Nimbus?
yeah. Like it's the max cushion.
I don't feel it's as soft as the Nimbus.
No, it's not as soft as the Nimbus. It's a little bit firmer, but there's no plate or anything.
That's the thing that kind of confused me because I like the Deviate too.
Uh-huh.
And this feels like, okay, you want to make up for not having a plate. This feels like the Deviate 2 without a plate.
But it's kind of
More-
nice because it's a little softer.
Yeah.
So it gives you a little bit more bounce.
I haven't weighed it yet.
I've been enjoying it. I think it's like really great for those easy miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely is a fun shoe to run.
What-
And the Puma grip you can feel.
Yeah, like it squeaks.
Again,
when you walk places.
this is a heavier shoe. It's not out of control, especially for the max cushion shoes, but mine weighs 10.9 ounces or, let's see here, 309 grams. Let's see where yours comes in.
You can weigh mine, but I wore them this morning, so there's a little bit of sweat
I wore
in there.
mine this morning. They feel dry.
Okay.
Yours are 243 grams.
Looked like it was 8.5 ounces.
8.57 ounces.
So I mean,
8.57.
not the lightest, but that's pretty normal for a daily trainer, I think.
Now-
in the realm of things.
Your Puma grip, have you noticed it when you're running?
Yeah, it's great. I love Puma grip.
I don't get it. Like, how did they do this?
How do they make it so grippy?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be, there's got to be a chemical company that's going, we can make it as grippy as Continental rubber or, Goodyear rubber or something. And you don't have to you can have it be your own brand. Like, but it really did. And I noticed it today when I was doing my strides after my run, that you really do feel it like bite in.
Yeah, that stuff's great.
Yeah.
Robbie, have you run in it yet?
I actually don't have this one. I kind of, to keep myself being able to run in the shoes that I have, I usually just give you the max cushion. I don't probably run in too many max cushion ones.
It's not your favorite.
Yeah, it's just like I know it's not really my favorite. Like I'd rather run in the more.
The thing that's crazy to me is I know that you love the Max Road.
Yeah.
And like this would be comparable.
Yeah. I mean, I know you guys like the Ghost Max, and I asked if I could try that out then. So it's kind of like
Yeah, this is very comparable to
It's
Ghost
something
Max.
that you think is worth.
I'm actually thinking that it's like right now we do video reviews, first thoughts, between shoes, written reviews. I'm like, I don't know that we need to all be on everyone.
It's just not it's not possible.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that you could still get shoes, and it's important for you to know because you're going to have to compare it to other shoes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to do all the heavy lifting with the full review.
And honestly, there's just I have a small house, and it gets a little overwhelming.
There's shoes everywhere.
It's
in the office, in our house.
And I think my
shoes.
wife might be leaving me soon.
Because of the
Is she
shoes?
the little old woman who lived in a shoe?
Yeah, she's gonna leave me for a barefoot runner.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
A CrossFitter.
She does feel like she lives in her shoe at this point because I think they're kind of like falling out of the ceiling. It's hiding.
You got it.
Shoes.
You can donate the ones that you're not using.
Dude, it's not. You can't. I know this sounds insane to people who are listening, but it's like you almost can't even donate them fast enough.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I found is very useful? In the parking lot of Sam's, there's like a.
I thought you were just gonna say the parking lot. Just throw them in the parking lot.
Pretty much. No, but it's a clothing donation dumpster.
Yeah.
And you basically can go there, and I've taken boxes and just dumped them.
Is it the yellow one?
Yeah.
Dude, there's a weird backstory with that brand. That dumpster it's community something, where it's like a cult or something. It's
What?
a very weird. Yeah, I remember reading this like deep dive story into who runs those things. It's like a very odd.
So should I not be dumping them there?
I don't know. I had to look into it again, and
They got a
try to
bunch of
remember what
old
it
grit
was.
shirts.
But it's like not really what you think it is. But yeah, I mean, you're right. And I take a lot of them to DSW because they do Soul for Souls there, or Souls for Souls. By the way, I noticed on a Instagram story, I think you did, Meg, you spelled fuel for the soul wrong.
How did I spell it?
You did it
SOUL.
SOUL. You're like fuel for the soul team, like something.
Oh, that was Thomas.
Oh,
Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, don't blame me.
The picture of the three of us from and you said the Fuel for the Soul team. You posted that.
Yeah.
The three of us from
When we were there
Boston.
Okay,
that was
can I wait a second? I get justification for that. As you can tell from the story.
You were drinking?
Yes. And it probably auto-corrected for me.
I mean, I had to think a couple times about it. I was like, wait, what is the right spelling of that?
That's funny because I think that's in a text message to
Nice.
to Feathers.
Anyways, but yeah, it's just the amount of shoes are, and we also try to give them to some local high schools. Like Eric Erdman is one of the faster bastards, he's a cross country coach, so I try to give him some stuff. But it's just a lot, you know.
It is, but I mean, we have to have the shoes to compare to other shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the job.
Yeah.
But it's.
I was thinking about like
first world problem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Final check-in. We got loose hands. We got loose shoulders. Now let's just pick up the pace. Don't let it drop down into that slow, boring trot. Let's have some fun here. You put in the miles now. Let's pick it up. Keep that effort rolling. Relax the shoulders, relax the hands, and let those legs swing. I've been doing this for over 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Kofuzi borrowed some shoes to do like the guess what shoes, and I'm like, oh my God, that is like, he was pulled out shoes that look like they're ancient. And I ran like the fast twitch, the yellow one with the tiger stripes. I ran the Arizona Marathon in those. And I'm like, they like just touching them make my feet hurt now.
Yeah.
But they were the premium shoe back then. And like we've done, like, how many shoes do you think per year come through our doors?
I mean, probably 200 at least.
So
Maybe more.
So between that, and you're talking 10 years, say that I don't get all 200, say that I get 100 of them.
Yeah.
Over a 10-year period of time.
Yeah.
That's
that's math.
Yeah. You notice
It's
I didn't answer it.
Yeah.
I didn't come to the conclusion. But yeah, like thousands of shoes that we've tried.
Yeah.
It is. Megan always reminds me though, like she's like, is this recency bias or, you know?
Yeah.
But no, you go, because you do go back and shoes that I felt nostalgic for. I'm like,
I know. I felt like, you know, because I've gotten rid of pretty much all my shoes from a longer time ago, except for my first Nike Epic React. And we were in the airport the other day. I remember I saw someone wearing, and I looked it up to make sure I had the name right, the Nike Lunar Glide 6.
Yeah.
And that was my first like real like running shoe I ever bought. And I kind of was mad that I got rid of that, because it would have been cool just to have it.
There's a couple that I have like sadness that I got rid of. Like my first pair of Kimbaras, the very first Kimbara ones.
Yeah.
I had 3 pairs of those. I gave them all away.
Yeah.
There's a pair, my first Newtons that I ever had were like these red and silver ones that I loved.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're gone. There's a couple, and that's the problem. That's why I become like somewhat of a hoarder. Like so we have full shelves at home.
Yeah.
And in the garage, I've got boxes.
Right.
I'm like, just get rid of them. Just get rid of the shoes, dude.
But I have this fantasy that at some point they'll do like a documentary on shoes, and I'll be like, I have those.
Yeah.
Like, here, come to my house. You can have all the shoes that you need for this documentary.
And you know when that's gonna happen? You're like 100 years old, and like you can't even find the shoes.
I'll be,
Here's my shoes that I remember as a young boy.
I'll be dead, and Megan will be like, here's all his shoes that he couldn't throw out.
And you'll like fill up your garage. You'll just dump it all in the floor and then dive in like Scrooge McDuck into his gold, like, and for the opening scene of the documentary.
I actually love this. You know how they have those foam pits?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a shoe pit.
It seems less comfortable jumping into that versus foam.
Maybe you don't jump into it. Maybe you just bury yourself in it and swim in shoes.
And that could be your final resting
My
place.
legacy. Yeah. Oh,
This is it.
I like it.
Anyways.
I don't want to take up any space once I'm gone.
Yeah, same. Are you getting buried or cremated?
I mean, I would guess cremated at this point. Like, we're not buying any land, are we, Meg?
No, I'm definitely into getting cremated, because I'm like, I just don't. Yeah, for that reason, to me, it's a waste of money to buy a casket. It's more the
I think
financial
it's also
side of
weird.
things.
Like when I drive past the cemetery, I'm like, all this land.
Yeah, same.
For nothing.
For nothing, yeah.
And I know some people believe that but we're not coming back to that body.
No.
It's like saving a poop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you're not totally wrong. But yeah, I would just burn me up, scatter me to the four winds.
I would I would love to be on like a funeral pyre, like the Viking style. Where,
everyone wants that.
Yeah, and then they shoot an arrow at you're like floating out to sea, and they shoot an arrow and it burns
I don't know
up.
why we can't just start doing. That's way more organic than burying someone in the ground.
Or just dump bodies in the ocean, give them to the animals.
Yeah, like as a feeding
Bring
frenzy.
reefs back.
Well, there's a thing. There is this one thing that I kind of am interested in doing, where if you donate your body to
No. Are you talking about the farm?
yeah,
No. The crime farm?
well, it's the same thing.
Oh, no.
It's where they study like forensics. They'll put the body like in a trunk of a car and then see what happens over the course of a month or something, like in the desert heat.
I think that's good for you. I could not imagine, say that Megan had passed away. I would be beside myself if I knew her body was in some sort of like
But it's
crime scene
like
yard.
But then I think you're allowed to get their skeleton back if I'm not mistaken. Which is
And then what do you do with that?
Why?
You can't keep bones. It's illegal to have human bones.
Why is this a topic?
for the job.
Yeah.
We talk about life, death, everything in between. The two. What's that thing like? What happens?
Alpha,
in the dash?
Omega.
No, yeah. But like your life is the dash between the numbers. Like when they're saying, I don't know, there's like a song about it. Like,
Is it Mr. Brightside?
No. I'm just saying we talk about the dash on the tombstone.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we're the dash.
We're the dash. I like that between the years.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, actually, we were talking about after the dash because we.
Yeah.
The haberdashery.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, before we go, I just want to let you know we love getting like new brands in, and we're going to be bringing you some new brands in apparel soon. I don't want to name all of them right now, but today we tried. I think it's just Nord, but it's NJORD.
Yeah.
Is that?
Well,
am I saying that correct?
I think so. They probably can't do Nord because that's a electric keyboard company.
Well, it's clothing though. Speaking of which, our trademarks came through. Like we had a couple trademarks. We have a couple more trademarks now.
Oh, nice.
All around Believe in the Run.
There you go. Put that.
Don't even try.
Put the TM on there. But
I think it's the R.
I actually
We're
thought
registered.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going to go into haberdashery talk, but that's
haberdashery. Well, haberdashery's
hats.
clothing.
That's hat. Oh no,
Haberdashery. You're thinking of what is the person who makes hats
I
called?
thought a haberdasher was a hat.
You might be right.
Let me look it up real quick.
Anyway.
Oh no, you're right. It is men's clothing and accessories.
Okay, but I forget what's the name of a person who makes hats. There's a word for him.
I don't know, but now it's going to drive me crazy. We'll figure it out.
Ferret?
Trust me, we won't let you listeners down. We'll look that up and find out next week.
All right, but anyway, I tried their
podcast.
clothing. It's really nice. They're out of Texas. Really nice materials. It leans a little bit more towards the Viore, Lululemon side than it does towards like strong performance sides.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you looking it up?
It's a milliner.
They're saying haberdasher throughout history. The term haberdasher has referred to a dealer of hats or caps.
Okay. So, and again, caps for sale. I keep bringing up that kid's book.
Also, a hatter. That's a thing. A hatter.
Oh, Mad Hatter. Yeah.
I think
Or a
there's
milliner?
What's a milliner? I
Milliner.
think that's it. What's a ferret person or farrier? Oh, that's horseshoes and stuff, right?
Oh, maybe Furrier.
A farrier.
But
Anyway, it probably means that we're almost done with this show.
Yeah.
Now that we've moved on to hat making, that really does it.
Anyway, we'll let you know how that gear works out. I think it's that I feel like we're getting into like you've got your performance running gear, you have your collab style running gear, and then you have kind of like that cafe running gear. And I say Lululemon, I feel is cafe running gear, like stuff that you would like. There's some stuff. I'm not wearing my Tracksmith Van Cortlands to go get coffee with someone.
Yeah.
And then go running later.
I will say, and I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, but like at that after party, the amount of people wearing Lululemon things or I don't know, there was very revealing things going on.
At what party?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about like.
That Falmouth after party.
Are you talking about the women mostly?
Yeah. And then not the and maybe again.
You're saying that there's a lot of sports bra, tight shorts?
It's very tight. Yeah. I don't know. Is that weird? And not like runners, just like not the people, not people who ran the race, just like people showing up. Or I was like,
yeah, those are the young people,
Yeah, I was
the
like,
20-somethings. That's just what they wear.
yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I don't know if I could do that if I was just an individual.
Oh, they do it.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
you don't
very
wear sports
confident.
bras as a group person either.
Yeah, not yet.
There's
We'll
still
see.
time. There's
I'm
still
losing
time.
muscle mass by the day. You never know what could happen.
All right.
That was the worst because I'm doing push-ups last night. I'm last stop before bed, and
That's impressive.
we're going to sleep, and I realized, oh, I haven't done my push-ups.
Oh, wow.
I had to jump out of bed.
Way to stay dedicated to the
Oh,
cause.
Jesus. But anyway, so let's wrap it up. Thanks to Brandon for editing this up and getting it out to you people. Thanks for all of you that came out to the hydration tour. It's just sick to look back. Meg did a post on Believe in the Run showing the different group runs, and it's just like the amount of people that came out and supported and took part and as part of this community. We just love y'all, and thank you for participating.
And obviously, thank you, Asics, for supporting us throughout the entire summer. That was fun.
Yeah, and for the Falmouth.
Yeah, and for the Falmouth weekend, which is always fun.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to run that race, definitely do it.
Would you rather gone to Budapest and watched people run around an oval, or been at Falmouth and run along the water?
Probably Falmouth.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
I know there's some cool stuff that happened, but it's just the travel and everything.
And I feel like Laura's doing a great job.
Yeah, I need to stop watching Instagram reels before I go to bed because I had a dream about running influencers last night.
How'd it go?
I don't even remember. It was just Laura Green was doing something, and then there was
Were they selling you shocks at a discount?
no, it wasn't that. But it was just I think we were in Japan. It was just a weird. I don't even remember what happened, but So, anyways, but yeah, we didn't even talk about Worlds. That's all right. Maybe next week.
Next week.
I mean,
when everything's...
I will tell you this performance of the entire thing so far.
Shikari.
Shikari Richardson.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was the hand at the end for me.
That she might as well just give him the finger to everybody.
Yeah.
But that was amazing. And then the falls. I think there's got to be a divot or something in the track right around there.
Well, I was watching. It looked like Safana-san kind of did a little edge there.
You think so?
If you watch it,
It looks like their legs just stopped working.
no, she definitely, they had a little contact, and it looked
Okay.
like she was maybe kind of edging out a little bit towards the outside because she knew Gede was coming on the outside, and
Oh, so you think she?
maybe just like
She
a little
caused
bit,
it herself,
a little
not-
bit trying to block out, and
Okay.
then kind of got tangled up.
Backfired.
Yeah, but I mean, she was in the post race interview. She was like, yeah, it was what it was, like whatever.
Yeah.
She was good. It was cool.
I mean, you got to figure that's falling off a moped. That's like you're going 15 miles per hour. Like it's not a
definitely.
light
Not at
tumble.
all. Nope.
All right. We do have to wrap this up.
Speaking of that, we're getting an electric bike soon. Yes.
One of us is going to die for sure.
All right.
I'm
So
glad we
stay
figured
tuned for
out-
that.
Glad we figured out if we're getting cremated or buried.
Yes.
Once those e-bikes come in, it's
You notice
game
Megan
over.
didn't give her preference. What do you want?
I don't care.
right.
Cremated.
All right. There it is.
All right, we're all on board.
Ooh. There's 3
Okay.
separate sections to the
And-
Believe in the Run logo. We get cremated and filled with different sections. Be together forever.
All right.
All right. Hi, Mom.
All right. Bye.